right, everybody, welcome to the K&M 495 Sportscast. This is Mike. Like always, I'm joined by Kyle Ronick. Kyle, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for asking, especially after the Wizards win last night.
Oh, my God, how nice was that?
I mean, it was great.
How beautiful was that? If you don't know, the Wizards ended up winning last night's game. They won by, what was it, 19?
Yeah, 121 to 102.
Yeah, and they won the first game at Verizon Center, the third game of the series. They won by, 27? So They have just been getting after the Celtics at home.
Yeah, each team has won at home each time. So somebody's got to, I forget who it was, but one of the coaches actually came out and said that the playoffs do not start until a team wins away.
That is very true. I mean, the Wizards have to win.
It was Pat Riley who said that.
Pat Riley said that? That's a great quote by a great coach.
Yeah,
I almost said quote.
It was really funny. It was really funny because last week's podcast, we had talked about how bad the Wizards had come out in that third quarter. They were outscored by 20 points, 36-16. Well, this third quarter, they come out and they score 42 points. The Celtics 20.
Oh yeah, they dominated right out of the gate. And in the first half, they were down for a little bit. I mean, they ended up coming back. John Wall started getting on track. And then the second half, man, they just came out bawling.
I mean, my goodness, on a 26-0 run.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just incredible.
It was just the turnovers. The Boston Celtics coach came out after the game and said, you cannot continue to give the Wizards the fast-paced play that they do off of turnovers.
Right. I mean, that's something that John Wall and Brad Beal and all them, they do so well. I mean, Porter on the wing kicking it out. I mean, the Wizards run the fast break almost, you can argue, better than almost any team in the East. They really do. When they're playing at their tempo, which is not a half-court set, they are just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, nobody is as fast as John Wall in the basketball court.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
Besides Russ Westbrook, I mean, he's the only one you can consider, but John Wall is just a freak. Once he gets going into that second gear, it's incredible.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas's kid had actually asked him before the series, how are you going to guard John Wall and his speed?
Really?
Yeah.
So
it's known. It's there.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely known. I mean, that's John Wall's biggest thing. It's always been his speed. We did a great job on defense as well. I mean, nobody on Boston scored over 20 points.
Yeah.
Nobody scored 20 points. Isaiah led with 19.
What have we been saying this whole time about the Wizards? Is their defense. That's their biggest problem. And when they fix that, you can see that nobody can play with them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would completely agree on that. And one thing that the Wizards do got to get better at this series is their bench points. They were outscored on the bench. Boston had 54 points off the bench. The Wizards only had 25.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really need it because
they didn't.
The five starters for the Wizards were balling out. I mean, Markieff had a double-double, close to a triple-double, with 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 defensive rebounds.
Yeah.
And 5 assists. So they're playing well.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, John Wall, he did start out slow. He didn't have a good shooting night. He was 8 of 25 from the field, which was 27 points. He was 2 of 6 from downtown. He was 9 from 9 for the charity stripe. Listen to this. So the Wizards, as a team, hold on, let me pull up this statistic real quick. The Wizards were 24 of 27 from the charity stripe. That's 89%.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And Boston was 18 of 24 from the charity stripe. So, I mean, the Wizards, when they got to the line, they converted those points, and those free points, that's huge, especially against a Boston team that hits as many threes as this team does.
That's been the Achilles heel for the Wizards so far has been their free throws.
Yeah, and it's been uncharacteristic misses, too. Like, John Wall is a very good free throw shooter. I know in the game 1 and 2, he missed a few key free throws. Same with Bradley Beal.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have to clean that up. Which I honestly believe they will. But, I mean, going down 2-0 and being able to come out these last 2 games.
It's a new series now.
Yeah.
It is a brand new series. I can't wait for Game 6 at Verizon Center. That is going to be rocking.
And the Wizards, they are a predominantly young team. And for them to come out and get these 2 games, their confidence level is going to be really high going into this 5th game.
Oh, definitely. That was huge. And especially, I mean, after what happened in Game 3 with Oubre and Olinik, and I mean... Mm-hmm. We were so in Game 3. That was just so incredible to watch. We were so in their head. I know that happened after last podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that did. Kelly Oubre, man, that sucked that he missed last week, but I love that intensity that he brought.
Yeah, he's just a young guy. He needs to understand to stop doing that.
But I loved it. it. That was something that we did. I mean, don't do it again. Yeah. Obviously, please don't, because he's so big off the bench for us as a spark plug type player. But that was huge. Kelly Olynyk got trucked
Yeah, which is hilarious because, like Oubre is such a great defender.
Yeah.
And we use him a lot. We use him on Isaiah. We make sure, because he's been very well against point guards the entire season.
Yeah.
And then he's out last game, and that's when our defensive intensity picks up.
Yeah, Isaiah had 19 points, and he led the Celtics with 19 points.
Yeah, the Wizards just need to understand, you don't have to score out of the gym. You just have to play great defense, and you can win any game that you play. I don't care who it is. If they play great defense, you can stop anybody.
Yeah, especially, with the Celtics, they're such a streaky team. They're very good at three-pointers, but they attempted 10 more threes than the Wizards at this game. They were 14 of 31 from beyond the arc. The Wizards were 9 of 21, so yeah, they hit a few more. But, if they're putting up 31 threes a night and they're only hitting 40% of them I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. And between the starting 5 of the Wizards, they had 13 steals. That was huge.
Oh, yeah.
The points in transition, like we said, they're such a fast team that nobody can get into defense fast enough to stop.
Exactly. One thing that does, this just comes with John Wall's style. He did have 7 turnovers. That's just his style. He's always been like that ever since his Kentucky days. He's so fast-paced that he just loses control a lot.
It's true, but he had 7 turnovers, but his plus or minus is still plus 25.
God, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it just shows you how good he's playing. I'm pretty sure that Isaiah Thomas's plus or minus was in the huge negatives. it was really
Probably.
bad.
Oh, yeah. John Wall also, he set a franchise record last game, but improved on it this week. John Wall has 20-plus points and 7-plus assists in 10 straight playoff games, which is a franchise record. The old record was 8, so he beat it last game.
Yep.
That's just incredible. You love that from your star player.
Yeah, and Isaiah Thomas's plus or minus last game was negative 30.
Negative 30?
Negative
really?
30, yeah.
Wow. Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's
and then
crazy.
After the game, he comes out and says, I were falling on the ground 5 or 6 times. I think that's hilarious because, Crimea River, what did we go against last series? We were getting mauled and nothing's getting called.
Oh, yeah.
Gortat went a whole game without a free throw.
Yeah. The officiating in this entire playoffs so far for the Wizards, both series, has been just so poor. It's been so... I don't want to blame anything on the officiating because I hate it when people do that, but it kind of in Boston, some of those games were just we were so close, and then all of a sudden the officiating just started swinging Boston's way, and all of a sudden Boston's just hitting on real shots, and they just get it going, and a lot of that is just that shouldn't happen in the NBA at the NBA level.
Well, the really good thing for the Wizards was Bradley Beal finally finding his stride.
Yes, that is huge.
Absolutely huge. He was 3 of 6 from 3, 11 of 16 from the field with 29 points.
Yes, we talked about that after the first game because when he struggled, we were just saying he's somebody. He needs, if his shot's not falling, he needs to find a way to get to the hoop, no matter what. And he needs to get to the line, he needs to knock down a few free throws, and he did that early.
It's so funny because Bradley is such a good three-point shooter, but whenever you ask him to make a layup or a 1-foot shot, he just can't make them.
Right. It's weird, too, how... John Wall, I know John Wall has improved his mid-range game, and that's been the key to him. But it's weird. Beal is known as such a shooter, and John's always considered, in the lower tier of shooting for point guards. But John Wall has a higher free throw percentage than Bradley Beal. He has all season.
Yeah, that's been weird.
That's very odd.
John comes from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And they do not they don't practice free throws. They don't do that.
They don't need to when they're dominating the way that they do.
Exactly. And they don't need it. And it's just so crucial, though, when you have those close games, you need those free throws.
Yes.
But I trust John.
So do I. Oh, 100%. John was 9 of 9 from the stripe this week, or this past game. He didn't miss a free throw.
No. And neither did Markieff Morris, Otto Porter, or Bradley Beal.
Right.
Combined, they were 11 for 11.
Yeah. We only missed 3 free throws all game. We were 24 of 27. That's huge.
Those are free points. We talked about it. They're free. You need them.
Exactly. That's huge. It's also weird kind of to see, I know second half especially, the Wizards were just straight dominating.
Oh, yeah.
They went on a few of those, there was a few straight series where Boston couldn't even get into their half-court set, and the Wizards were just stealing the ball and taking it back down court. But turnovers, Boston actually, they had 18 turnovers compared to the Wizards' 19.
Okay, yeah.
So,
but it just shows you the transition.
Exactly.
When the Wizards get a turnover,
it's an opportune time.
Absolutely, they're going down the court and getting a point after it.
Right. That's a little bit ridiculous. One thing that we do we need to get more bench scoring. I understand with your starters playing the way that they have, and we did miss Oubre, but Brandon Jennings has to start getting a little bit better. Bogo's been doing good. Bogo had 13 points off the bench this last game. So, I mean, that's just something that we got to keep up.
With Jennings, you can see it when John gets off the court. You can just tell that the offense is stagnant.
Yeah, there's a drop-off.
Yeah, his plus or minus is very indicative of that. I mean, it's -10 for the game. I mean, it just shows. It shows. I mean, he is trying, obviously. I'm never going to tell a professional you're bad at your job.
Yeah.
But we need more productivity out of you.
Definitely.
And somebody who showed up, which is our boy, Bobo Drano.
Bobo.
13 points off of the bench.
He only attempted, what was it? He only attempted 2 threes or something, 2 or 3 threes?
Yeah, 2 threes. He made 1, but he was 5 of 7 from the field, which was crucial.
Yeah, that was huge.
These past 2 games, he's been the guy. Like, remember that step back jumper, the 3-pointer he had? Oh,
yeah, I mean, even at the end of game 2, he was draining. There was a few series back to back where he was just draining threes. Yeah. And Bobo, it's so interesting watching him shoot because when he hits a 3, it is literally nothing but net. Yeah. We're talking about that at the bar when I was watching it last night. When he hits a 3, it is nothing but net. It's just the most beautiful sound ever, and it's so nice to watch.
Yeah, and we need that off the bench. We need some scoring off the bench because we've talked about it. Our starting 5 is possibly one of the best in the NBA.
All around, yeah.
But it's just we're not getting much out of the bench. And if Bobo just even gets 10 points, it helps us out so much.
Right. Once he's for our second tier players, like when Wall and Beal are off the floor, he is just key.
Yeah,
Bobo he's got to be our go-to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's the guy who carries us. I mean, who else is going to score when John and Bradley Beal are off the court?
Right.
But Scott Brooks has been really cool in creating new players setting up. So what he'll do is he'll make sure Bradley stays a little bit longer than John.
Yeah.
And then when John comes in, John stays a little bit longer with Brandon Jennings, and then Beal comes in.
Yeah.
So he's been very creative in that aspect, and he's created a lot of good points for us.
See, this is the weird thing. I've got into it with some people who are saying that Scott Brooks is overrated, but we have the same team as last year.
Yeah.
Only, you had Bogdanovich, of course, and then Jennings, but we are literally just about the same exact team. But it's amazing what Scott Brooks has been able to do with this team as opposed to Randy Whitman.
Yeah, you have to give him credit, a lot of credit.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has come in here, and we started out really bad, but then he just completely turned the tide. The guys bought in. And Markieff Morris, I mean, say what you want about the guy, but the guy is a fighter.
Yeah.
He is a fighter, and I absolutely love it.
You saw, I don't think we touched on it really last week, but you saw that conspiracy theory that Markieff's brother Marcus filled in for Markieff and Hasbin. It's so funny because they're identical twins, so they look exactly the same.
Don't
height,
they have
same
the
size.
same exact tattoos too?
No, I think Markieff's are a little bit different. Like if you look closely at them, but like passing by, you would be like, "Oh, that's the same people." That was so funny. There was a big conspiracy.
They got the same ex-girlfriends' names tattooed
right?
on
Yeah,
them.
They only date women with the first letter K.
Yeah,
that's actually a rule of mine.
Really?
No, I've never had a girlfriend. I don't know.
I'm going to say my name starts with K.
That's why. Why do you think I agreed to do this podcast with you?
No.
Because K, I want you to be my ex. You do look a lot like my next girlfriend.
Really?
My next girlfriend.
I just need to grow longer hair.
Good for you.
Yeah. I hope you're like a bald guy.
I'm getting there. It's actually a very real problem in my life, man. I've just noticed that my hair is just like starting to go back, and it's so depressing because it's not like bad enough to where like I feel like I should get plugs, but it's like bad enough to where like I should probably wear a hat when I'm going out, and it's so depressing to see.
Oh, you know it's bad when my receding hairline is when I show up to a family party and my sister walks up to me and goes, "Kyle, I love you, but your forehead is huge."
Oh my God, I hate that. It's always the people that are the closest to you that always point it out too.
Yeah.
That's
like,
the worst feeling.
I'm just trying to help you out. Well, thank you. Make me feel bad about myself.
Thank you for making me super self-conscious the rest of this time.
Now I feel bad for LeBron. Now I understand why.
Now I know why he got that done. LeBron, I feel like so many people hate on LeBron. I love LeBron. And the best argument that I've heard, I hate the Michael Jordan comparisons. I hate that Tyronn Lue even came out and he was like, well, some of these guys like Barkley and Ewing didn't have a ring because of Michael Jordan. That's why some of these guys like Durant and people don't have a ring because of LeBron James. It's like, I get it. Like, LeBron has been dominant. Don't compare him to MJ, but the best argument that I have ever heard about LeBron, it was from Colin Cowherd, I think, that people were talking about the LeBron versus Kobe thing. And his point, which is, it's actually kind of true, was there was maybe, say for like a year or two, there was never a time where you could really consider Kobe the best player in the league. Because it was Shaq and Duncan, then maybe a year or two, but then LeBron just picked right up, and he's been the best player ever since. So it's kind of just like, can you really call somebody the greatest like Kobe if he hasn't even been the best player in the league?
Yes, but you know that LeBron is the best player in the league. I guess it didn't help with LeBron because he came in and was immediately anointed the king when he came out of high school.
I remember missing basketball practice to watch his junior high school games.
Yeah.
back then.
I mean, he came out his rookie year, fresh out of high school, and took his team to the finals.
He averaged over 20 points.
They got swept, but still, you're a rookie in the league, and you took your team to the finals.
That wasn't his rookie year. That was a few years later.
Oh, was it? I thought that was his rookie year.
No. I know what you're talking about, though, but either way, he was still 22 or something when he led them against the Pistons and scored like 50-plus points.
But they got swept.
They ended up getting beat in the finals. Yeah. But no, that was amazing. LeBron, people want to hate on LeBron just because of the whole Miami thing, and like I get it. I know we're getting a little bit off track here, but LeBron he's a good dude. I mean, it's not like he's a bad person. I mean, he married his high school sweetheart. He seems like he's very active in his kids' lives. He's active in the community. I don't get the hate. I mean, I get it because he's so good, but some people just got to shut up and appreciate the greatness with LeBron, just like they needed to do.
Right.
With
but you're not going to have that
Manning
much exposure if there isn't hate for you.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and that's true. That's very true.
I remember watching Jordan games back in like 95, and they were in the finals against the Jazz. And I remember going, Mom, why aren't you cheering for Michael? Why aren't you cheering for Michael? And she was like, I want the lesser guy to win because he's won so much. And it's just that aspect that people have.
That's true. That's a very valid point. That's 100% true. Speaking of greats, we got a great series going on in Washington. I love that transition by me. Two of the greats, Crosby and Ovi, going at it right now. Two more greats that people just need to shut. I hate Crosby, but I will shut up and appreciate his greatness all day.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought that the move by Trotz to move Ovechkin to the third line was great.
That was so smart. Very underrated.
Burakovsky got a goal.
Yep.
And then so did Ovechkin. And what I really like to see out of Ovechkin is he actually. What I've been complaining about this entire playoffs is every time Ovechkin has the puck and anybody ever comes up to try to defend him, the puck's immediately gone. But I wanted to see Ovechkin get the puck in open space and do what he's normally doing, and that's just going around guys and getting a shot on goal by himself.
Yes, the isolation situations.
And we saw that. He balled out, and he made a huge goal.
Dude, it's so crazy to me, just looking at all these numbers from the games for the Capitals and the Penguins series, like the Caps are dominating in shots. Like they really are. There's no, and you watch the games, and you're just like, how does this team not have more goals?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know Fleury is playing out of his mind. But it's just crazy. Like, let's see, this last game that the Capitals won 4-2, field goal percentage, Pittsburgh hit 61% of the shots, Caps hit 39%.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it's crazy. I mean, the Caps still won, but that just shows you how many more shots they took. They only shot 39%, and they hit 4 of them, but they still shot a way lower percent, almost half.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was watching the game with my buddy Bo, and he tells me, he's like, Kyle, you don't play NHL that much, right? And I was like, no. But he was like, when I play you, what happens? And I was like, I usually shoot the heck out of the puck, and you shoot 5 times and make good shots and you get goals. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly. It's not about the quantity, it's the quality.
About quality.
Exactly.
Right.
But I completely understand the aspect of shooting the heck out of the puck, and making sure you get rebounds, because rebounds do happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you see that a lot. I mean, especially this series. There's been so many goals off of rebounds and stuff. Yeah. I mean, fluke goals. What was that? What was that, game 3, game 4, when the Caps player, I forget who it was. Why do I forget where he the puck went off of his skate into the goal.
Oh, Dmitry Orlov.
He was that. Yeah,
that was just a pass to the center.
But that's the thing that happens in these playoffs that we even talk about. Where, like, sometimes it's just the lucky bounce. You know.
I mean, what do you want Orlov to do? Do you want him to let the puck pass him, and then now the offensive guy gets the puck and
right, and he's got an easy goal. Yeah, I completely understand that. It's just that would happen to a DC sports team, man.
Yeah, but for the confidence of this team of having Sidney Crosby and Connor Sheahy back for the Pens, and then still beating them,
right?
But I mean, tonight is huge.
Oh, it's do or die for the Capitals.
We've talked about it being monumental games this whole all the way up, but this is and
if they win tonight, it's going to be bigger next week.
I wanted to bring some up to you.
Yes.
All right. I will say right now, live on air, I will hold to it. If the Caps win this series,
I can't wait to hear where this is going.
I will wax my butt.
You will whack like live?
Yes.
Right here.
Yes, you'll hear my screams because I've never had that happen before. That's how invested I am. That's
real quick, do you want me to wax it? I don't want to. I'll do it. I mean, fine. Like, I'll look at it, but, like, I don't want to.
Don't lie. You want to.
I mean, I do. Like, I will. That's what I'm saying. You're going to do that.
Yes.
That is awesome.
If they win the series, yes. I will hold myself to that.
You guys heard this. All you guys who listen to this. If the Capitals win this series, Kyle's going to get his butthole waxed.
Butt waxed.
Butt waxed. So not the hole. Well, you got to do the hole.
We'll figure that out. Maybe.
I think you should do the hole.
If they win the series, I'll do the hole.
If they win the series, you will do the hole.
Yes.
And so we're just going to... Should we Facebook Live that?
No. You can't. I don't want to scare kids. I don't need to be giving PTSD to these kids out here.
That's true. That's very true. I feel like you got a lot of hair, too.
Oh, I'm a hairy dude.
You are. Oh, man, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's going to hurt so bad for me. If they win the series.
If they win the series. So, Capitals, you guys got a lot riding here. I want to see this. I feel like we should make this studio, too, look like a Dexter crime scene where, like, we just hang up plastic everywhere. We got you strapped to the table with saran wrap around you.
I'm not going to be able to sit for hours.
No, I know. So you're going to do the whole podcast standing up.
Exactly.
With blood pouring out of your pooper. Oh, I'm not in it. I don't like the sight. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like mixing blood and fecal matter is never good.
Exactly. But I know it's a bad situation.
I'm pretty sure that's how AIDS started in the 80s. Nobody knows. Either that or it was the government.
No, but being down 3-1 and being able to get this game and being 3-2.
Yes.
I mean, we are in reaching distance. And if they can come out, I mean, I understand at Washington in Game 7, they've never been good.
Right.
But, you know, like just getting it to where it's even again, maybe it gives them the sigh of relief. You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think just being able to get there, if they do force a Game 7, please. Like, if they do, I think, you know, Verizon Center is going to come out rocking. You know that.
Yeah, I'm not all about the whole past. I'm not about bringing
Neither
that up.
am I. I mean, we talked about last game about how history's not on the Caps side right now, but there's a hope. I mean, we have a very realistic chance of doing something that would be pretty historic for this city.
And I thought that Barry Trotz should have made the move of switching the lineup after Game 1. Like, coming out and losing Game 1 at home, I thought Barry Trotz should have sat back and said, we cannot lose another game. Because I know that's early in the series, but even with Toronto, we saw the offensive liability. We saw that they weren't doing well.
Right.
Not as good as they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And so I thought the change should have happened after Game 1.
Yeah.
But you're seeing the product of it after the last game. I mean, these guys Ovechkin came out pissed off.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, but he's just changing up the lineup, and he's getting offensive off the third line, and that really, really helps.
That's been huge.
Yeah.
That's so big. I understand it, but I hate it when people say just because he's a better player overall. But I hate it when people like, because only like recently over like the last few years did I really start to get into hockey, and like it sucks for me because like the Capitals are always so good, and like I never really did. But people always saying that Alex Ovechkin is going to end up like the Tony Romo of the NHL, and that pisses me off because first of all he's a better player. Tony Romo's not an all-time great.
No.
Second of all, I want him to win so bad.
Yeah.
He deserves it. The city deserves it.
The city deserves it.
We really do. And it's like, I don't want to be depressing, but like, even if the Wiz advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, then we're going to face LeBron and the Cavs.
I mean, we're a really good matchup against them.
We are, but with the way the NBA's set up, it's made to be the Cavaliers versus Warriors for a third straight year, and it's pain in the ass.
I would love to see our boys go up against LeBron and the Cavs.
So would I. Take it to them. If they went 7 games in that series,
yeah,
imagine what that would do for this city.
I know. I mean, but I still think these guys, this is a very good team. They just need to get their defensive down. But let's get back to the Caps.
Yeah.
This game tonight, what are your keys for them to win?
Well, they just got to keep shooting. I understand. Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of it. I mean, you have to, because the whole point is to score more goals than the other team. They got to keep shooting, but they also Holtby's going to be huge in this game because if he lets up fewer shots and they're still scoring at a higher percentage, then I mean that's it for us. And we got to keep coming out physical. Last game we won the hits battle. I mean we did. We had almost double. We had more than double. The Penguins had 15 hits to our 38. Yeah. We got to keep coming out and doing that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You just got to play physical, smart hockey, get the shots off, but. Like you said, you do need some quality shots, not just quantity.
Exactly.
Well.
And Alan May actually came out today, and he thought that the Capitals in the last game came out and did their own tempo. They weren't sitting back and seeing how Pittsburgh was playing. They went out and did their own game, and they need to stick to that.
That's when they're best. When they're controlling everything and it's their game, that's when they're best. That's what they did all regular season, and look at what happened.
Yeah. And I said last week, all you have to do, I mean, I know I say all you have to do, but you have to make sure that you are not doing defensive turnovers and just making sure that if you strap them up, you are at an 80% chance to win that game.
Right. That's true. That is very true. I mean, the Capitals, I know we talk about it all the time, but they're just so talented. They're so good. And like you said, when they come out and they play the way that they're supposed to play and the way their style of hockey, they're almost unbeatable. They really are. I mean, they can score. They have so many guys on this team who would be stars elsewhere.
Right. And last year, the Pens had beat us in Game 6.
Right.
In Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Same exact.
Oh, my God.
Everything,
that was so
everything's
depressing.
the same exact same. But It's huge. Let's make history here, fellas. Let's go out there and let's show that we are not the same exact team.
Right.
Let's go out there, let's kick some ass, and let's show these dudes that we're not here to play around.
Yeah, you have to. That's literally what they have to do, especially because, I mean, we've talked about it before. This is almost like our last chance. Like, you think if they don't lose in Game 6 again to Pittsburgh, there's not going to be some changes made 2 years in a row like that? I mean, some contracts are up. Shattenkirk is just a rental for the playoffs.
There's talks of possibly trading Ovechkin.
Right, exactly. And we, as a city, we do not need that. We don't want that at all because we love Ovi. We love it.
We love Ovi.
Everybody respects what he's done.
We love Ovi, but he's a shell of himself, what he used to be.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. I want to get this guy a championship, especially because he's been so loyal to DC. He's been so good in the community. Like, you just want to see a guy like that win, especially here.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. And I would love to see Oshie get a ring.
So would I. Same with,
that's the guy I think that we have to resign for a long period.
Yes. Yeah. I think he's a top 5 player in the NHL.
I mean, he's our Sidney Crosby. He's the guy who does everything.
He does it all.
Yeah.
He does it all.
He's on the penalty kill. He's on the power play. He's the guy who passes the puck, helps out Backstrom. And I thought the move with Burakovsky up there, you showed that it worked.
It definitely worked. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Penguins tonight, let's see. Trevor Daley is out, the defenseman. That's some pretty good news. But, I mean, so the opportunity is there for the Capitals to win this game.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And we have to, I just hope that we have that mindset of, all right, this is it. This is what the whole series comes down to. This could be Alex Ovechkin's career right here.
The bad thing is that the Penguins are 4-1 at home this postseason so far.
I know. They've been so good.
Yeah. But we have to show some intensity. We have to show some grit.
Throw all history out the window and just play hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
Do what you're paid to do.
Jay Beagle, a bunch of players came out and said, look, we're just thinking too much. We're gripping our sticks a little bit too hard. We just need to relax and go play hockey.
Right. And when they do that, they're almost unbeatable.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, that third period was huge. Again, that tying it up, then getting the 3-2 goal, and then Ovechkin coming through and getting the 4-2.
Right.
I mean, you were I was scared.
I was terrified.
When they were up 3-2.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, now they're just going to get it.
Here we go.
Yep.
Something's going to happen.
Exactly.
Puck's going to go off somebody's skate and into our goal again.
They're going to shoot it off the glass. It's going to bounce in behind Holtby when he's not looking. Somehow. Crazy.
Sidney Crosby's going to pick up the puck and wing it in, and somehow it'll still be called a goal.
Exactly. It's just that it had that, but them getting that 4-2 goal was huge. I just felt like they gained a little bit of confidence after
they did. You could just tell, and I mean, hopefully they carry that into Game 6. I mean, that was definitely, I agree. Right there, you just it had a feel about it, and you're like, okay, all right, these guys are playing different now. All right, cool. And it's coming at the perfect time, but it also might be a little bit too late. You don't want to say that, but I mean, if there's any time for them to start regaining their form, it's tonight.
Yeah.
So let's get into another rivalry here. The Battle of the Beltway starts tonight in Baltimore. Bryce Harper is back after missing the last 3 games. Woo! Oh man, I love this series. I know, and it's not. It's not because I hate the Orioles. I don't hate Baltimore. Well,
no, you don't hate the Orioles. You don't hate Baltimore. You hate Baltimore fans
with a passion, and it's nothing. There's a lot of Baltimore fans that I know that are they're smart. I mean, they know what they're talking. Most of them are. I mean, they are when we talk.
Except for the people that I got in arguments with last year in Bryce Harper's down season, where we've speculated there was possible injury.
There wasn't.
They were trying to compare, saying that Machado was better.
First of all, I get that Machado. Look, I don't want to take anything away from Manny Machado. Manny Machado is a great baseball player. I think he is one of the top 3 players in the league. I think it's Harper, Trout, and Machado. I think those are the big 3 right now.
I would agree.
Yeah, but they play 2 completely different positions in the field. You can't even bring up fielding. The only thing that you can bring up is hitting. Machado had a great year last year. Harper was hurt. You can tell. Everybody knew it. The Nationals didn't come out and say it, but he was. Now you look at Bryce and he's playing healthy. Look at the numbers he's putting up. And Machado's been struggling a little bit, at least to start the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see here. I'm so excited for this game.
But just so look at it this way. It's not Nationals fans making the comparison.
No, not at all.
Exactly, because we know
Machado's great,
better.
and Bryce Harper's just a better player.
Yeah,
he is.
I mean, he won MVP for a reason.
Right. And look, I get it. What's more valuable to have somebody in the corner of the infield or an outfielder? I get that. I understand third base is a more important position.
But we have better pieces. We have Rendon, who's an amazing third baseman.
We're just a better team. That, let's be honest. I mean, I don't want to piss off any Orioles fans, but they can even agree with me. They're overachieving right now.
Yeah,
they're 1 game behind us. I believe we have the best record in the MLB. They're 20-10. We're 21-10 or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but they are overachieving. Coming into this, they were predicted to finish 4th in their division, 3rd, 4th in their division. I mean, It's going to be, but they are playing very good, and that's just some of the Orioles' magic. The Orioles have always been a very good hitting team.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see our pitching against their hitting.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm excited for this series. I want to see how we match up against them.
You know what sucks? I'm going to Game 1 in D.C. on Wednesday. I'm going with my cousin, Amanda Young, and I went to it before a few years ago. There is so much orange in that ballpark. And I mean, it's understandable because this area is predominantly Orioles fans, which, I mean, I understand, I guess.
Well, it's been around longer.
Exactly. Like, I mean, but it's just, these Nats fans, man, we got to come out there in full swing because there's going to be so many Orioles fans there. There always is for this series.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But before we go on, let's talk about Ryan Zimmerman.
I love Ryan Zimmerman so much right now. He is... I'm thinking about posting him on Instagram this week. Hashtag MCM, Man Crush Monday or Man Candy Monday, whatever the C means. I don't know. Man Cuck Monday. I don't know what it means. He is my man crush right now. He is playing out of his mind. He's tied for the ML League in home runs with 13 with Aaron Judge of the Yankees. I mean, he just his batting average is far and away the best. He's hitting .435 for the season.
He gained a percentage after last week.
Right.
How often does that happen?
That never happens. That never happens.
No.
He's playing out of his mind. If he's not the first month of the season's MVP, then there's something wrong with the voting process. He's been playing out of his damn mind.
Yeah, and Bryce Harper, when we did it a week ago, was leading all categories.
Right.
And now, but the only
all of a sudden Zimmerman's came up.
But the crazy thing is Bryce Harper's on-base percentage is still .504.
God.
Still half of his at-bats, he's getting on base.
Right. Whether it be from walks, Bryce... That's what you like to see. And the thing is, it's not like Daniel Murphy's playing bad, but he's kind of playing third string to what Harper and Zimmerman are doing right now, just because they're playing so unbelievable.
We said the same thing about Eaton before he got injured. He was playing really well.
It's not like he was playing bad.
No, it's just he was getting overshadowed by these guys who were putting up monster numbers.
And that's just like unreal what they're doing right now, man. It's crazy. I love to see this, though, because it's about time. It's always been, our pitching's been so good, you know, and Bryce was down last year, so hitting struggled, you know, if Murphy didn't get on base, then you were kind of like, okay, well, this one's done.
Yeah.
But, I mean, right now, you got 3-4 guys that can get on base anytime they are up to the plate. Yeah. And we just are putting up these monster games with runs and everything.
And Murphy's second on the team with, 26 RBIs? So, I mean, it's pretty intense. Oh, sorry, 28 RBIs. Bryce Harper has 27, with Ryan Zimmerman with 34 leading the squad.
Yeah, and he leads by 6, because Murphy's tied for second in the MLB with 28. Zimmerman's in first with 34.
Right. And, I remember hearing Nats fans, a year ago saying, when are we going to let Zimmerman
I was
go?
one of those guys.
Yeah.
I was, just because... You saw him at third before Rendon made the switch permanently to third, and Ryan Zimmerman, because he always has had such a big problem with injuries.
His shoulder.
Just watching him throw from third to first was so just depressing.
He was
sidearming.
Underhooking it, because his shoulder is bummed now.
It is, and that's why him moving to first has been so perfect. It's been key to him. I mean,
And what a trooper just to make that move and just to say,
do it for the team and just be like, yeah, you know what, I will do that. And that allowed us to do so much, because that allowed us to move Rendon over to third. That allowed us to bring up Trey Turner, or to trade for Trey Turner, get Trey Turner, put him in the middle infield where he's best, and then we let people like Adam LaRoche and these people walk.
Yeah.
And I mean, because we had Zimmerman filling in at first.
Yeah. I mean, they're just playing it lights out right now, and I would want nothing more than for them to sweep the Orioles.
I know. They should. They really should. I mean, I get it. I think this is considered more of a rivalry from Baltimore as opposed to from DC sports fans. And I mean, I get it. I mean, you don't always get asked this. I know we probably talked about this before, but Orioles fans are always like, well, why do you like the Nationals? Like, why didn't
I get asked that a lot.
I'm just like, because I'm a DC sports fan. Well, who did you like before the Nationals? I'm like, I was just a fan of baseball. I was a fan of teams. Yeah. I like the Orioles at times because of Cal Ripken. I like the Mariners because of Ken Griffey. I was never an Orioles fan. And then they'll be like, well, why don't you like the Orioles? I'm like, first of all, their owners suck. Aren't you a Redskins fan, Dan Snyder? First of all, you never bring up the Redskins. Redskins come first above everything, okay? I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is in this area. We can all agree on that. Redskins are number 1. Everything else is number 2.
Except for the people that aren't loyal.
Except for the people that aren't loyal.
Yes.
But this is a football town.
It absolutely is. It is. But a lot of you have to give a lot of credit to what the Orioles have done. I believe 100% goes to Buck Showalter.
Buck Showalter is, in my opinion,
as soon as he stepped in, they were balling out.
Right.
I mean, that guy, I would love for him to come coach the Nats.
Yeah, he is.
I love
Dusty too. Yeah, but he is. I think honestly, right now, he's the best manager in baseball.
Yeah,
Buck Showalter. I do the things that he has done, and they're never. It's not like every year they're putting out lineups like we are, like they don't have the pitching that we have.
Exactly, yes.
I mean, but he works magic with them, man.
They're getting to the playoffs.
Exactly. And he's doing some very good things out there. That's one, hey, Orioles fans, I hate you guys, but like, you guys got a good one.
Yeah, he really is. He was a great hire. He's perfect for them. And it's too bad they don't have a couple more pieces in place to make them over the top. Get them above Boston, get them above the Yankees.
Right. New York is overachieving right now.
Yeah.
They're up there too.
Yeah.
They're at like 20, 30 wins or 20 wins.
You can't really say overachieving with the Yankees, though.
I know, but you can because like they're. Yeah, but I know what you. The Yankees, like they're always good. They always buy the right pieces.
26 World Series. Come on.
How can that be overachieving?
This is not fair.
They're so good. They're just. It's the Yankees.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. They're just that sports franchise.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
The way that the Nats, they still haven't fixed the bullpen. They are in shambles right now.
Right. And right now, this hitting the way that our lineup is playing and stuff, it's a Band-Aid, but you can't keep a Band-Aid over a hole like that.
No.
You can't. No. As Taylor Swift said, Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes. That was a very good lyric from Taylor Swift. And the song "Bad Blood" about Katy Perry with Kendrick Lamar, and it's very true. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my rib cage. Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes, so we need to improve our bullpen.
It's crazy because the leader in saves for the Nats is Sean Kelly with 3.
God,
3.
Wow.
It just, maybe that's shown because of how the offense that the Nats have been putting up, but that number should still be up.
Yeah,
it just shows.
You can't have your leader with 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Saves at this point in the year.
The ERA leader right now.
This is the first week that makes sense.
The ERA leader right now is still Gio.
In the MLB?
Yeah, for us.
Okay, but I know he's up there. He's still top 5 in the MLB, I think. What is it?
1.64.
Yep. See, Gio's been playing good, and he was somebody over like the last couple years where we're all like, all right, I know we need a left hand in that lineup, but like Gio's like kind of like we can let him go in a little bit. But he's playing phenomenal. I know Scherzer's playing great right now.
He did not have a good year last year.
No, he didn't.
But he's come out on fire.
Since his first year with the Nationals. That first year he was lights out. He made the All-Star game.
Yep.
He's kind of been up and down. He's had his moments, but right now he's playing great. And if we can keep this up, that'll be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, obviously Scherzer is leading us in strikeouts. The guy is just carrying the load.
Right. And that just he has such an alpha male mentality, I feel like he's just dominant.
Yeah.
He is. He wants to dominate you when he's up there on the mound. He's mean, he's quick with it. I love Scherzer.
Yeah. He just comes out and just gives it his all. And he's the type of pitcher that even though he gives up 3 or 4 runs, he's the type of guy that wants to close out every single
you see it.
game.
You see it all the time.
Yeah.
He gets so pissed when Dusty will come out to the mound.
Yeah.
He'll be like, nope.
Exactly. And you need that from a leader, especially a guy that you went out and paid big money for.
Oh, yeah. Your number one pitcher.
Yeah, to have that passion behind him and want to continue to beat people up.
And
I love it.
He's somebody who, too, he just seems like he's just gotten better with age. He's gotten smarter. His control's better. I love Max Scherzer. I especially love him because he has different colored eyes.
Yeah.
I always think that's
got to freak people
it's
out.
Weird.
It's got staring him down in the batter's box.
It's got to be so odd seeing one beautiful blue eyes that's like a sunset in Fiji, the Fiji water and a sunset, and then the other one's brown, like not even just like a good brown, like a gross brown kind of.
Yeah.
Like too dark almost. And I was like, ugh.
All right, so let's get in. I know we've hashed into the Wizards, the Nats, and the Caps. So let's get into the team that we are both very passionate about. Let's get into the Redskins.
There's always something to talk about with the Redskins. Even if no news is really happening this week, we can talk about Redskins for 4 hours.
So the thing that's coming out right now is Scott McCloughan's wife is selling all of Scott McCloughan's Redskins gear on eBay.
Dude, I will give it to her. I love that woman. She's ride or die, and she's gorgeous too. She's so hot.
When she put it out, I tweeted back to her. I was like, "When is the signed underwear coming out? I'm all about it."
What did she say?
Nothing.
Damn it. She's
probably like weirdo.
She probably thinks you're another one of those reporters that Scott's been sleeping with. Who's this? Batch.
Who's this batch?
with a fake profile, Kyle Ronick. Yeah, right.
No, but right now, I'm pretty sure his signed camo Redskins hat is going over $600.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some passionate Redskins fans, dude.
There really is, and people who genuinely loved Scott. Scott is overseeing a scouting service. It didn't take long for him to find work. I mean, he was contacting teams, or teams were contacting him before the NFL draft, like months before, just to get info on players. He was giving them info, and that's one thing that it's like, why the hell did you have to release them right before the draft? He gave other teams input.
Well, for the longest time, the Redskins weren't paying him the rest of his salary after letting him go.
Wow.
And I think one of the reasons is because they were trying to make sure that none of their information was going to get out, that he couldn't talk, and that he wasn't going to talk to other teams about his board legitimately. Like, I'm sure he showed them some players that he liked, but he wasn't showing who he keyed in on and who the Redskins were keying on.
It said that he was giving, you could be right, it didn't say how much or what exactly he was doing, but it did say he was giving teams feedback on a lot of prospects, and so I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah. Well, why can't the Redskins just buy his scouting services every offseason?
I know.
I'm sure that's what they're thinking.
That has to be what they're thinking. I mean, they completely used his board this entire draft anyway. Like, what the hell?
They completely demolished it. They killed
the draft.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. The Redskins are such idiots. They're brass. Let's see what news came out. The Redskins today. I know this is boring for most people, but the Redskins assigned jersey numbers to their rookies. Yes. Jonathan Allen's going to be wearing 95. Ryan Anderson's going to be wearing 52. I love 52 on the linebacker. I love 52
with the Redskins. I love 52. Rocky McIntosh.
Yep. Oh man, Rocky McIntosh.
Yes.
Remember Marcus Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the cool singer that me and Pops and Josh know, because he's badass. By the way, check him out. Check out his music page, Marcus Washington. But the Marcus Washington that played for the Redskins with the braces.
Yes.
He had braces and he wore that big-ass neck roll.
Yeah, dude. Back in Sean's day.
Yeah, man. Back in the day. Back in the good old days.
I miss Sean so much. Isn't it crazy how the Redskins have not solidified the safety position since Sean has passed?
And think about it, because that would have, if Sean Taylor hadn't passed, that would have allowed LaRon Landry to stay at his natural position, a strong safety. Not had to have become the bust that he kind of became and the joke that he became.
Well, I mean, he was more interested in weightlifting than actually playing football and studying film.
Huge. Yeah. It was disgusting almost how big he was. And of course, he got popped for PEDs a couple times, but you know.
Like, you didn't need it, dude.
Right.
What are you doing?
But then once Sean passed away, we tried to force Landry at free safety because he's so talented.
Oh, when he got burned
and he was getting
Deshaun.
destroyed every game, it seemed like.
And we still have not fixed his safety position.
We haven't. No, and that's another thing. People are so high on the Swearinger signing it. I get it. He's better than what we've had here in the past.
But
Sean,
he's purely in the box.
But he's not, let's be real, like, he's not that good, you know?
Yeah.
He is. I mean, he's a solid player, but he's not like a Pro Bowl. You can't come out here and expect him to do what Sean did or really completely affect this defense.
You can't expect him to come out and completely change an offensive game plan.
Right, yeah, exactly. If anything, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to be like,
but what we said with Minuski is, we just said that he's an in-the-box guy, but with a hybrid defense, you can always switch him and Sua all around.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget, we're going to have D-Hall sitting back there just waiting.
Yeah, right. He's not D-Hall, that's very true. He's not going to be used nearly as much as he was, so he should be healthy.
I don't want D-Hall tackling. What I want D-Hall doing is running down
center field.
Running down the field, playing center field, making sure everything is okay.
Me and my brother were talking about this, just kind of messing around, but wouldn't it be interesting to see sign somebody like Kelly Oubre to play free safety, 6'7", with his energy plug? You know he could tackle. Look at what he did to Olenek.
Yeah.
And he's back there just playing center field with his speed and his athleticism, picking off every pass at 6'7", 6'8".
I mean, that is just ridiculous. It just shows you how big NBA players are.
I know, that's crazy. He's just like an average-sized NBA player, and he's 6'7". If he was on the football field, Gronk looks huge, and he's 6'5", 6'6".
Right. I love how people talk about what if LeBron was a wide receiver. But have you ever seen LeBron on the court and get hit by somebody's arm, and he's just all of a sudden he needs to be carted off on a stretcher?
Right.
Like, the guy could never, ever play football.
No. He was so good in high school, but yeah, you're right. I mean, he gets blown on and LeBron falls on the ground.
Dude, somebody would make a point to make sure whenever that ball gets thrown to him to make sure they hit the heck out of that guy.
Oh, yeah. He wouldn't 100%.
Be able to handle it.
No, he wouldn't. He's built for it. He's definitely built for it. But no, I agree. He could not handle that.
I mean, we looked at Calvin Johnson like, oh man, what a massive person this is. Imagine
he would be a Calvin Johnson was 6'5", 230. He'd be a short shooting guard.
Yeah,
that's just like a Deshaun Stevenson size, only like 30 pounds heavier.
Exactly.
Like that's crazy to me. How big some of these NFL players are. Let's see what else is going on in the sporting world. How about, did you see the Gary and Conley video?
No, I didn't.
The video that got released. So Gary and Conley, he's a cornerback from Ohio State. He got drafted in the first round by the Raiders, 22nd, I believe, whatever pick they had. And so before the draft, this girl came out and said that he raped her.
Yeah.
She came out, and her story was
that she met him in the hotel.
She said, I met him on the elevator. And then he said, hey, come to my room. So she went to his room.
And left her friends.
Right. And so then they went to the room, and then Gary and Conley's friend was having sex with a girl in the bathroom.
And they said for her to watch or something? They wanted her to watch?
He asked if she wanted to have sex, and she said, no, but I'll watch your friend with you.
Oh, yeah.
So then they went to the bathroom and watched, and then she said that apparently Gary and Conley allegedly raped her. Remember, there's not only the two people having sex in the bathroom, there's two other guys outside in the room. So they were all there. And but then it comes out she didn't meet this guy in the elevator. She met him 2 hours before at the bar, and there's a video of her like following him all the way around the bar, kept trying to get his attention. Anytime he was with a girl, she would rip his arm away and like put it around her and stuff. And then like it's just she's setting him up. And all the people in there said she was mad because after he asked if she wanted to have sex, she said no, but we can watch it. Went in there and watched a little bit. And she still wouldn't do anything with him. So he's like, what do we do? Like, I don't want to watch my friend have sex.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? So get out. Bye. And she got pissed that he kicked him out. Three other people have said that. So, I mean, this guy shouldn't be in trouble. And obviously the Raiders didn't think enough of it to be that it'll affect him.
Yeah.
But he's still saying now that this girl's still going after him hard. And
it's just a shame because, like, you know, with real, like, rape allegations and everything,
like
it's just a shame that, like, people like this just try to take advantage of somebody.
Somebody can do that. And, like, I mean, maybe we are all wrong, and maybe something did happen. If it did, then I'm so sorry. Like, that's terrible.
Even from her first story was a lie. She said she met him in an elevator, but there's video evidence of him
hours
in the
beforehand.
Club.
Yeah, and it's just...
It's a shame.
That's so sad, man. This guy, I mean, that could have ruined his. That could ruin his life.
She should be penalized because this guy could be making millions of dollars, and because you lied.
Right. Imagine if he didn't get drafted because of that, and people would be like, "Oh, well, he's so talented." No, that's happened before. Look at La'el Collins,
and it makes you think
Collins did nothing. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, and he didn't get drafted at all. That cost him millions of dollars just because he was associated with a girl who got murdered.
Yeah,
like I mean, he was friends with the girl. It was his ex-girlfriend. She got murdered, and that's such a serious thing that he didn't even get drafted. That costed him millions.
I mean, even think of other situations where there was no video of the bar.
Right.
And a guy just didn't do anything wrong, and this girl took advantage and lied and ruined his career.
Right.
How many times have that happened? But there are times, I will say, there are times where guys really are vultures and are
pieces of shit.
Yeah, and do rape women.
Right.
And they should be, but like using that to try to make something of yourself and try to get money out of it is ridiculous.
That's just that whole thing. That's so sad that it comes like that. Like, and it's such a double-edged sword too, because like obviously you want to give the girl the benefit of the doubt. That's serious. That you don't want that to happen to anybody.
No,
rapists should be castrated or killed. Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
and I mean, but then to see like it's so weird that you can't trust anybody with that stuff anymore. Anything that comes out now, you got to be like, take it with a grain of salt because this person might be trying to get money. That's so despicable.
But that's what the law says. The law says innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
And that's the reason for it.
But also, there's sometimes though where it's very obvious that something like this did happen, and you see these guys walking the street, and it's obvious that they did do something, and you still got to kind of treat them, even though they're pieces of trash.
I mean,
like
like Darren Sharper,
right? Oh my! Whoever would have thought that he was a predator like that?
I mean, but he still had weird segments on NFL Network. I remember watching. It was called like After Hours with Darren, and it was like slow romantic music, and it was just kind of like awkward.
What are you
weird.
doing?
Yeah, this is NFL Network. Why are you trying to like be romantic?
What the hell?
When that came out, I was kind of like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Like looking back on it, it's something like, wow.
But like you think about it, being a former NFL player, you'd think that you didn't have to worry about having women hook up with you. You know, you think that like women are automatically attracted to
some
that.
sick people get off on stuff like that. I feel
ridiculous, man.
That's so.
He's away for a long.
He should
time,
be. He should. Like I said, rapists should be castrated and killed.
Yeah.
They should be. I mean, I'm sorry if that's just how I feel. That I think them and molesters and people like that, they should be castrated and killed.
Yeah,
that's how I feel because that's so terrible. But like, that was so weird when that came out, and that wasn't just like one or two girls. It was like 26 of them or something. Like his jersey number.
Yeah, it was outrageous number.
Yeah, it was like he was like pushing Cosby numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dude, he was popping pills in a woman's drink like it was Tylenol.
Right. And isn't that crazy too?
To think that that's okay. Like,
yeah.
And who in the state of mind thinks that that's okay to do to somebody?
And that time that Darren Sharper did that, 20, 30 years earlier, Bill Cosby did that to 54 women.
Yeah, allegedly. But we can't talk about that because nobody knows. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I can't tell you.
See, a lot of, I don't know. I know we're getting off topic and stuff with stuff like this, but that stuff, that just baffles my mind how some people, like, who are they're so well set in life, you know? Like, some people, always they think about is, man, if I just had a little bit more money, I would do some good. Like, we interviewed Kyle earlier. Yeah. Kyle's the best human being in the world. He's always giving back to people, always doing stuff for the community. And, you know, then you get some people like this who come with millions of dollars and they still feel the need to do shit like that. And
yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's so disgusting. It's so terrible.
And to just take advantage of people. Like, I really do believe that girl should be prosecuted, if not the same way that he would been if it actually happened.
Right.
Because you're trying to literally ruin someone's life.
Yeah. And, you know, we're getting a little bit dark. Let's come into the light a little bit and get off this dark topic. I don't know why I brought that up.
Sorry, I got sisters, I got moms.
No, so do I. I got a sister. We all have moms. You know, I mean, people are shady. Let's see. What else is going on in the Redskins world? Let's see. I sent you the link to Jonathan Allen's high school footage, right?
No, you did not.
I didn't send that to you?
No.
Damn it. Oh, no, I thought I did.
Is it ridiculous?
Dude, his one tackle that he has where he busts through the line, and because he was playing defensive line when he went to Alabama, when he played defensive line in high school, when he went to Alabama, they were trying him as a linebacker, and so that didn't work out too well, so they moved him back to defensive line. But in high school, he just busts through the line, and he literally, I've never seen a burst like this, and he busts through the line, and he picks up the quarterback and spins him around, literally gives him like a Brock Lesnar suplex city, and he's just going on him. It's so crazy to watch. He was just a man amongst boys when he was in high school. And then, I mean, the Redskins, they had such a good draft with Jonathan Allen getting in there, but I like some of the things that Dallas and the Eagles did in their draft too. I think that they drafted really smart.
Yeah, and then the Giants drafted the guy that you predicted to go in the first round.
Right. And they had a decent draft too. I mean, Dalvin Tomlinson, he was somebody we always talked about. We talked about him for like 2 straight episodes.
I thought that was the guy that we were going to key on.
Right, so did I. And we went Ryan Anderson instead. But how do you think that the Redskins stack up against the rest of the NFC East?
I think that people are giving too much firepower to the Giants after they signed Brandon Marshall.
Right.
I understand it. I get it. But you still have a lot of faults. And I think,
namely Eli and their offensive line.
I think Eli is a good quarterback.
No, so do I. He's just so up and down at times, and he'll make the dumb mistakes. But the past 2 seasons, he has done very good.
Yeah, I still think that their offensive line is a liability.
It is. Right.
And they drafted the Flowers out of Miami way too early.
Yeah, he's a right tackle at best in the NFL.
He graded out as one of the worst left tackles in the league last year.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. So this is a guy that Junior Gillette, Ryan Anderson, Preston Smith can take advantage of.
Yeah.
So people are going to say, well, you're stupid for not being scared of the Giants because they took you out of the playoffs last year. But I'm not scared of them.
I'm not either. I mean, their defense is very good. Their defense is, and they do. I mean, obviously, Odell Beckham, Brandon Marshall,
Landon's playing at an all-pro
Landon
level.
Collins is playing amazing, and their defense. I mean, really, their secondary is so good.
Yeah,
it just is.
It's Rogers Cromartie. Wherever that guy goes, he balls out.
Right, he does. He really does. He's so underrated.
Yeah,
I feel. And the guy who they just got from the Rams last season? Why can't I remember his name? The dude who went to Florida, then got switched out of Florida.
Yeah, I know. Janoris Jenkins.
Yeah, Janoris Jenkins. He played a monster. And then Eli Apple. Eli Apple's a big boy. He's played good. I mean, the Giants, they have that, of course, that dominant defensive line, which now I know that they lost Jonathan Hankins, but then you add somebody like Dalvin Tomlinson, who's big as well. I mean, there's some. Do you think that the Redskins, though, do you think that they match up well with them? You think that they'll split the series? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that is a split. Philly, though, I think Philly, we can take advantage of Philly. They do have some issues, a lot glaring issues. For people picking the Redskins to be 4th in division again is ridiculous.
I don't get that either. Like the Eagles, I love what the Eagles did this offseason.
Yeah, I'm not being a homer. I'm just saying, looking at these teams and how they stack up, I think it's laughable.
Exactly. I mean, I love the Alshon Jeffrey signing for the Eagles as much as I hate the Eagles' offensive line is very good. They're still. I heard a rumor today about them possibly trading for Mark Ingram with the Saints.
Yeah,
it would make. They need running backs. Exactly. I feel that way too. But I mean, they have pieces, and then their defense they improved. I mean, in the draft, you can't expect much though this year from what's his face from Washington, the corner that they just drafted. It would have been the number 1 corner, not Sidney Jones.
Sidney Jones.
I mean, he's coming off of a torn ACL. He might not even do anything this year. I mean, that's such a long recovery. And then they got the kid from West Virginia, the other cornerback, in round 3, Rasul Douglas. Is that his name, Rasul something?
Yeah,
and,
but they still have Malcolm Jenkins, who's a top 5 safety, possibly
and
the best.
Rodney McLeod, he's very good as well. I mean, and then you add Derek Barnett to that pass rush with Brandon Ingram and Fletcher Cox.
But that goes into the Redskins re-signing Morgan Moses.
Exactly.
And saying basically, our offensive line is not that far away from being top tier.
No, I would argue that the Redskins' offensive line is top tier right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting up there.
I agree, but
that's me being a homer.
Yeah, the run blocking needs to improve
it
for
does.
me to say
Definitely. that. Yeah, it does. I agree. And I mean, you look at what Dallas did. Dallas, I know that you can't, we've talked about it before, you can't expect Dak Prescott to come out and do what he did last year. Last year, he took the NFL by storm. I think that's being a sophomore in the NFL, you know.
I got to disagree. I
really?
have to disagree.
Think
yes,
so?
Because the one thing with these young quarterbacks is there has to be a consistent variable. And those variable is still there for him.
That's true.
It's an all-pro wide receiver. It's the all-pro offensive line, and it's the all-pro halfback, and Jason Witten at tight end.
And he's had the same coaching.
Right, exactly.
Well.
So there is no skipping a beat for him. They're going to go back to doing exactly what they did. All it's going to come down to is if defenses can confuse him now with the confidence he has.
And the best key for a young quarterback is a good running game and a good offensive line. You said
absolutely.
it. However, you see it so often where quarterbacks just in their second year that it's just a sophomore. It just happens sometimes. And I don't think he's out of this world talented like Ezekiel Elliott is. So I just think it is bound to happen. However, their defense now, the Cowboys lost a lot.
Well, they just came out and said that they're moving Lyle Collins to right tackle.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, they said right now he's just practicing against air, he said, so we'll see how that goes. But that would be huge for them. If he can
put Ryan Kerrigan up against Lyle Collins, I'd love that matchup.
I'd love that all day.
I understand Lyle Collins is a baller. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
I get that, but I will take Ryan Kerrigan over him any day.
Yeah, I think he's better at left guard than he is at right tackle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was talk of him coming out of the draft. They were saying that he should be moved to guard.
But it's showing some panic, my friend.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we got some good pass rushers now over here on this Washington Ball Club. But, you look at the Cowboys, their back end. They've lost Barry Church. They still have Byron Jones at free safety. But then they've also lost their two best corners, and Morris Claiborne and
Morris Claiborne was not good, but he was getting away with murder.
No, but he was playing better.
Year.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
He was holding guys every play, and they were not calling it.
But he was definitely playing a lot better than he had in his first 4 or 5 years.
Absolutely.
I mean, but so that they lost all their guys. Now they're going to be stuck with Anthony Brown at corner, and I mean, I think he's more of a slot guy.
Yeah, for the
anyway,
future, that's great.
Guy.
But for next year,
and then they brought in Chidobe Awuzie. I liked him a lot. I thought that was a good value pick. And I mean, then they also picked Jordan Lewis. So Jordan Lewis, that's what I don't get. Anthony Brown, a lot of people say that he's made for the inside, but Jordan Lewis was the best nickel corner in this draft. They said that's just where he has to play. He can't play on the outside. He doesn't have the speed.
Yeah, they're showing some fault there.
So, exactly. So now it's like they have two nickel corners and Chidobe Awuzie, and you can't rely on rookies like that anyway.
Yeah, but don't forget about their guy Byron Jones, who they got last year.
Right. Well, 2 years ago, and last year was his first year playing safety, and he is an athletic freak.
He is. He's a good boy, but you cannot mortgage your defense on one player. I mean,
right. I mean, but they also, the Cowboys they're going to have Jalen Smith coming back.
Let the Redskins show you that.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, yeah. They're going to have Jalen Smith coming back from injury. Who Jalen Smith? I mean, in the 2016 draft, I thought Jalen Smith before his injury, he was generally considered the number 1 or 2 prospect in that draft at first.
Jack,
right. So I mean, and that both of them ended up falling to the second round because of injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
I mean, it was smart by them to go get it. It makes a lot of sense.
And you redshirted him his first year. Yeah. Just kind of let him sit and learn. But he's somebody, if he heals perfectly, that's going to suck for us because he is so talented.
And it sucks because he probably learned from Sean Lee all
I know,
last year.
and Sean Lee is he's everything. As much as we want to hate him because he's a Cowboy, he's everything you want in a football player.
Yeah,
he really is. He's hard-nosed.
Smart, he's fast, and he goes and makes tackles.
Yes.
That's all you can ask of a middle linebacker.
Sean Lee is a monster. The one thing I don't like the Cowboys, them taking Taco Charlton. I mean, I get it. It was a value pick. I don't think that he's going to end up being anything too special. How do you think that the Redskins match up now against the Eagles and the Cowboys?
I think the Cowboys are an injury or two away from the offensive line from being not as impactful as they were last year. So I think that even if they are healthy, I think that we can still. We're not scared of them.
No. We show up every game to play the Cowboys.
Yeah, like we've said it previously. When Zeke went against a horrible run defense of the Redskins last year, we held him in check until we had like a 20-yard run, which propelled.
That's
his
where
average.
most of his yards came
exactly.
from. Yeah,
and so it just wasn't helpful. But we're not scared of them.
No,
we're not, and we
all.
understand now. And our defense is going to be run differently. We're not going to sit back and cover 3 and let Dak hit hitches all day. We're going to pressure them, and we're going to show them that you can have the best offensive line, but we're going to come with our defensive line, and we're going to make sure that we're going to wreak havoc on you guys.
Right. I especially like the way that we match up with the Eagles really well.
Absolutely. I think that we sweep the Eagles.
We have dominated the Eagles over the last 2-3 years. We really have. And the Eagles, I mean, getting pressure on Carson Wentz is going to be huge, and that's why adding Jonathan Allen and Ryan Anderson to this pass rush is going to be so important because players like Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz, it's been shown once you put some pressure on them that they'll make some mistakes. I mean, they're young quarterbacks, so that happens.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the best thing possible for the Redskins is Dak having such an easy year.
Right.
Because you start putting pressure on him, maybe he'll go back to his rookie tendencies that every rookie quarterback has.
Everybody does. And I mean, to be honest, you didn't see that too much last year with Dak. It was
But that was him coming out. He was very smart. He knew he was patient. And coming out of the SEC, he knew what to do. He knows what the vicious and the hard nature of defense in the SEC is like.
And that's honestly, I mean, I know we always resort back to Scott McCloughan, but that's why Scott McCloughan was so big on taking players from the SEC and big schools because they've played against the best. They've been in the best division. They've been in front of big crowds.
Yeah.
That's why that's one of his rules.
One of my stats I wanted to show you, I actually took a screenshot of it, was that in this draft class of the pressure percentage.
Right.
Ryan Anderson was second behind Takaris McKinley with on 21.24 percentage rushing the quarterback.
That's just his nonstop motor.
And that's Ryan Anderson with 18.35.
Wow, so he was right there.
Yes, absolutely.
And also McKinley, I mean, he only had that high average because he played in the Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever the hell it's called now, which always passes the ball. And they have some great quarterbacks in that division.
Ryan Anderson was right in front of T.J. Watt, T.J. Watt was right in front of Taco Charlton.
Okay, so Taco was another person, man. I mean, he was playing in the Big Ten. I mean, he was. I mean, Michigan, they put out some boys this year.
They did.
Michigan did. They really did. They're going to be an interesting school to watch. It's going to be very fun to see what Harbaugh does with that over the next few years. If they're going to turn into an Alabama or what they're going to do.
I mean, Harbaugh just elevates everything that he touches.
He's such a good. Both of them are. They're both the Harbaughs are very good coaches.
Yeah,
so that's. I mean, I will admit that. So anyway, we are just about out of time right now. Kyle, you got any closing thoughts?
Let's go get this win, Caps. I mean, let's do it. Let's screw last year, man. Let's go out here. Let's fire off. Let's go hit some people in the goddamn mouth. Let's go score some freaking goals up front. Let's go tear some shit up. Fuck Pittsburgh. Fuck. Just screw all of them, dude. I'm just ready to go ape crap tonight. Let's finish this series. Let's wax my butthole. Let's do it, fellas.
What?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Wizards got me so excited right now.
Dude, the Wizards come out. Let's boss out against the Boston Celtics. Let them keep crying. Let's show it. Let's show the defense. Let's come out and let's turn into a dumpster fire. Let's just blaze.
Don't turn into a dumpster fire. The dumpster fire is like what
I'm
you
all hyped up right now.
Browns, like
I'm all hyped up, Mountain Dew.
The Redskins management, that's a dumpster fire. But I agree. Wizards, Capitals, come out on top. Nationals, let's close this out. Let's get a W. Let's sweep the Battle of the Beltway series. By the way, I told two people that I'd give them a shout-out this week. Shout-out to Johnny Diaz at Mixed Bar and Grill and for just being a very gentle lover and an all-around pretty chill guy. Also, special shout-out to Matt McCord because from Out of the Way Cafe because, well, he told me that he loves me and, like, I'm very interested in going on a date with you. So
let's get our teams in the third round of the goddamn playoffs, my friend.
Let's do it. Let's make some shit happen. So hopefully next week when we come back here, we can talk about us being in the final.
Yes.
Ooh.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Please give us some feedback. We love you guys. Thank you, Extraordinary Entertainment. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you to Kyle Setchak for coming through for the teaser today. And thank you, Michael.
Hey, thank you, Kyle. Thank you for being you because you're an all-around great guy.
Thank you.
Also, real quick, I just wanted to say this. I know we're running out of time, but I feel like most of the time people, like, they first hear their voice and they hate their voice, like they hear it on a phone recording. I think I'm the only person in the world who is obsessed with their voice, and that's why I like to talk so much and I babble on like I am right now. Really, I love my voice, and I feel like it's got to be called narcissism, but I don't care. I'm in love with it. So finish off with a hail to the Redskins.
Redskins football. Woo! Woo!